All right, ladies and gentlemen out there, today we have a rare treat. We have Anabelle Grey here, and we're actually going to get into some of the better dynamics between men and women. A lot of what I do is very men-oriented, but one of the things that we think is really important as far as communication between masculine and the feminine is just the naturalness and the playfulness that people can have in conversation. And so she, so she got me this little headband there. I'm wearing it, so it's not like I picked that to begin with, but I was cool enough with having fun with her.
You're a sport, thank you.
I'm a sport, that's for sure.
He's not too cool for school.
No, I'm actually really not. Although today, just to say, it was pretty cool that the kids protested and did their gun protest today. That was very cool, with speaking of school. But the reason we wanted to come together is just because we wanted to talk, and we're going to explore some of the things that she's doing out there. It's just the naturalness and the playfulness that male and female communication can have, and being able to explore and discuss issues that many men and women have along the way. And I think it's going to be useful because a lot of times, a lot of people don't know, what I do. And like I said, I've run strip clubs for the 25 years. But what a lot of guys don't understand, that a lot of guys see me as this wild kind of party, crazy crew. But working in that situation, what a lot of people don't see is the amount of women that I've had to help, amount of women that I've had to kind of give them a little bit of emotional support to. And that's all in the back scene. So a lot of people don't understand that aspect of me. And the ability between masculine and feminine to come together and to support, to help, to heal one another on a certain level when you need to, how to be able to step up. And if a person needs a little emotional support, or if they're in a situation which is dangerous for the other person. Sometimes women need that man in their life to be able to pull them out of a situation like this. So
protection from a man?
Protection from a man.
Way.
Yeah, it happens. And then not protection like using a condom, okay? Like, not that kind of protection.
But that's good too.
No, matter of fact, it is good.
Okay,
matter
another
of fact,
episode,
I
right?
can personally celebrate today because I just got back from the STD clinic and got my full check, so I am good, which is completely surprising. But I'm very
dude.
I'm very happy about that.
Show off.
Thank God. I was literally looking.
This fucking show off.
I was literally looking at the chart today. I was like, God damn! I mean, because it's been years, and I was looking at the thickness of that, and I told the lady, I'm like, that's a pretty big file, isn't it? And she's like, yeah, actually, it's very big. And I'm like, okay, well, as long as it's all good, right? And we're good. And she was like, yeah, we're good. And I said, okay, cool. We'll have fun with that.
He said it's a big, clean file.
Thank God. I was stressing there.
Oh, yeah.
So, I was. I really was.
Okay, let's cut that stress.
Okay.
Let's have some fun.
We're about to. We're having fun no matter what. I could talk about this now and have fun. So, let's get into your stuff, because this is going to be a little bit more, I want to say a little bit more female-oriented to a degree as far as that. But guys, feel free to come on and ask questions about this, because, we want to have the understanding that it's okay to talk with women about stuff like this. And so,
because we're in this together.
Yeah. So what are you here for?
Well, I'm Anabelle, you guys. I go by Anabelle Grey as a model entertainer. I've been modeling and entertaining off and on since 18. I'm in no way a coach. I'm in no way trying to give advice. What I'm offering is my complete vulnerability. So, on the contrary, some of it might be used to not do what I've done and use. Some people might want to use some of my life as an example of what not to do, and I'm fine with that as well. As long as my vulnerability and my experiences can be used to create empowerment with masculine and feminine energies, enjoying life together. There's just a lot of assumptions that I took that I'm super guilty of have had, especially in my past, before any of my healing journeys. And there's a lot of time I could have been having fun and enjoying guy friends, boyfriends, just enjoying the opposite sex, enjoying the other energies. Had I spoken up, had I just enjoyed conversing with my fellow brothers out there, So I would love to encourage the next generation and whoever to see how simple it is, to see how easy it is, and how fun it is. It's a lot more fun to discover the truth and work together as a team, as opposed to running on stories and assumptions. So
and her heart is in a good place. Like we've known each other for many years, and we actually walked into a seminar, which these are things that a lot of you guys don't know about me and or her. Is we walked into a seminar that was on human trafficking, and it was done from the what's that? It wasn't the Border Patrol, but it was ATF. No, not yeah, it was something like that. It was Homeland Security, and so it was funny because I just walked in. I sat next to her, and she didn't recognize me because it had been many years, and I just kind of sat next to her, and she just looked at me, and I go, "You'll get it. You'll figure it out."
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I figure it out? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you figured it out.
Heck yeah.
And so the whole thing is like,
when you're in places like that, you're going to take a look around and see who took the time out of their life for these causes.
Yeah, and that's a great cause, man. Human trafficking is just horrendous, man. It's horrendous. And we were on the kind of same thing, and so I help people out sometimes on that. But bottom line is the intention that we're here for is for, if you have questions, if you have things that you want to talk about, just be aware that, you don't have to be anyone in a certain position or a certain career. And she's not a porn star, so I mean, a lot of you guys might be like, oh, is she a porn star? No, she's not at all. Okay, so I wanted to make that clear because some people are like, oh, she's kind of talking vague about what she does. So
gotcha.
She's definitely not that. But bottom line is that I want to make sure that no matter what you do, you can make a change in a person's life. You can help. You can go to the community. You can do good things. You can be eyes. You can be ears. Out there to help people, to lend an ear to talk about stuff. So
you just have to care.
Yeah. So what is it that you're doing? Like tell us exactly where people can get a hold of you, because she's going to be having a lot of conversations like that because she wants to help and she wants to have men and women be able to, voice what's going on in a supportive situation.
Well, I'm going to be based here out of West Coast, California, San Diego. I have moved around East Coast, Midwest, so I do have some feedback on demographic experiences. I'm going to be spreading my vulnerability and my conversations in dtube.video and anabellegrey.com, though all the information is going to be on my social media pages, Anabelle Grey, Facebook and Instagram. Before we continue, I just want to let you and everyone know why I even came to Eric. Okay, yeah, he's amazing. Everyone knows that. Okay, but you're effing cool, man. You're effing cool. You are he's super raw and real. And that's
I'm listening.
All right, I'm not trying to but this dude isn't too fucking cool for school, all right? You're down to ask questions. That is above and beyond. You're down to ask, and that's just so refreshing. It's so refreshing to meet people who are not going to let assumptions run them and get in the way of getting to know each other. So we have bumped heads, and I truly love how it never passes a point, though. You never pass a point where you feel like you're above anyone, and you don't treat anyone lower than yourself. You don't treat the feminine energies as lower than yourself. You have your personal opinions, and you have your strong opinions, or however it may be, but it's never condescending, and it's always in the end to teamwork. It is always in the end to have an understanding, and that's the point.
No, I appreciate that.
You and I are not buying into this competition game. We're not buying into this putting each other, this sex is better and that.
Well, especially what's going on right now, like with the male, female, the feminists, the MGTOW, which is men that are going their own way. I mean, it's a fine balance, and it's nice that we're stretching that, but there is a healthy medium in between, and things like that, and being able to ask questions. I mean, like I'm telling you, some of the questions that women ask me are ridiculous, like crazy. Like if you want to go to the extreme, I'm going to get raw right now on you guys, but like
real talk.
Okay, real talk is sometimes I'll be sitting there like by the door with the dancers, okay, and they'll go by and they're going to be very intimate and close with guys, and sometimes they'll go like this. They'll dip down. They'll be like, "Do I stink?" Yeah, it happens.
You are them.
Yeah, they do it to me all the time because I'm going to be real and be like, yeah, you might want to check that shit in and maybe apply to Terminex because that shit will kill anything.
That's the masculine energy in you, lady.
But I mean, but it's the realness of it. I
that
mean,
reminds
so
me
don't
of
feel
like
afraid
a
to
big
ask any
brother,
questions because
like pull my finger. It kind of reminds me of that.
There's no ifs and buts about it. I mean, it's one of the things I do.
Shit.
It's that rawness that women trust. I mean, with being the masculine, like. You can't be afraid. Like you can't placate a woman. Like if you're going to do that, that's great. But it's not going to really work in your best interest because they're not really going to trust you. Like a lot of women come to me and I'm raw and I'll be like, hey, you know what? Like you need to put a Tic Tac in your mouth. Okay, like you've been out there smoking. You smell like a fucking cigarette. Like you just fucking smell nasty. Like you're not going to make money this way. Like this is you want to make money. Handle your shit. Or being real with women and just saying, no, I'm not going to handle that bullshit. Like, it ain't going to happen. So, being able to be truthful and honest about that, what I found is I have a lot of women friends because they know that I will tell them the truth. And so with a woman, what a women really, like, appreciate is security on a deep level. Like, women are looking for that security on a deep level, where it's the masculine or whatever. But if a guy's bullshitting all the time, they're not really being honest with him. So on a deep unconscious level, the woman's kind of thinking to herself, do I really have that trust? Like, do I feel safe around this guy because he's not really giving me the truth compared to, I give or take. I don't care. Like, I'm going to give you my opinion, and that's the truth. So she can count on this. And she's actually going to be more secure around me because she knows what truth is. She's got a realistic perspective of what truth is, at least from my point of view. So women feel safe there. They may want to bullshit themselves and go hang out with some guy who's going to lie to them. That's fine too. People are completely okay with, lying to themselves or fluffing themselves up and things like this. But, let's just go a couple things. Truth always prevails. Absolutely.
And can I touch on the truth thing?
Nope, not at all.
This is what's awesome, is our roles are completely going wacky. We all get that. It's 2018. What's our role? What's my role, as a female? What's your role as a male? But we're only gonna get anywhere with the truth. And personally, what I have to offer is I just don't have anything to lose, you guys. I've been judged up and down. I've had people curse my name up and down. I just really don't care. So I'm going to give you the truth and nothing but the truth. And
be fair to asking for it. It's a useful thing to be able to have. To be able to ask somebody who's not going to judge you on something like that is really important. If you don't have someone like that in your life, like you can ask me any question, you can ask her any question. We're trying to give that venue to the younger community coming up, even though maybe a lot of people don't really understand exactly what we do, but it is useful on a lot of levels. So it's useful if it's true. That's true. That's a good cause. It's useful if it's true. So we'll keep it real, okay? And we're going to actually get into a little bit about maybe some of the personal stuff, because some of the stuff that just came out today, I don't know if you saw it, I think it was today or yesterday, like we're going to talk about abuse to a degree, because I deal with this all the time with women that come in and things like this. Abuse or how easy women can fall into these situations that maybe not be healthy for them or useful for them. And so I was just showing her before she came over, the guy from the Astros. I don't know if you saw it. He was a minor league player, and he's got caught in the stairwell, slapping this chick around. Very uncool. It's uncool anyways. If you touch physically a woman, you're really not a man, okay? Because you let her get to you, man. That's not cool. But the bottom line is, looking at this video, the crazy thing wasn't so much him beating on her, okay? It was that she looked like she'd been used to it. Like, this isn't just the first time that this has happened. So, we're going to talk a little bit about that, because you came into a situation similar to that for the first time, and it kind of shocked you to a degree, right?
I did. So every family situation is perfectly imperfect, and so I would be lying if I said I had any exception. I didn't have the on screen, the perfect relationship with my brother, and I was always able to hold my standard with him, like, hey bro, none of my boyfriends talk to me like that, so you sort of can't, you gotta cut it. And this year was my first year it flipping on me. I was dating someone and I caught them cheating, and it's gonna happen. Totally fine.
Is it without proper communication? Is it totally fine if it's not agreed upon?
It's not personal.
Okay. Well, it is
I'm not saying it's fine, but it's not personal. It had nothing to do with me.
No, but it is personal to break the trust on that level.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, there's trust things that happen, definitely, like, get impacted. So now this person was flipping on me ever since I caught this, and so now it flipped on me, and I got to experience what it is to have a male burst on you and get in your face. To the point where I would get away because he was in my face, and I would try to lock the door, and he said, lock the door from me one more time and I'm calling the cops. Okay, so obviously there's something wrong. Obviously and I'm not going to get into details, but what I want to share with you guys is I have an amazing father that put those standards, that showed me, that treated me and showed me what what it looks like to be a respectful guy, what it looks like to be a gentleman with manners and logical boundaries. So I started to realize that this was out of hand when I started to create distance from my father, and I stopped reaching out to him. I stopped telling him the truth. I started to realize that I was not telling him how my relationship was really going. That was really embarrassing. So it starts with embarrassment. It kind of starts with not wanting to tell the truth to your friends and to your family. And it slowly creeps. I only had one person in my family that I didn't agree, my brother, we just didn't agree the way we got mad at each other. But it was never what I went through with this guy. And so what I'm trying to say is, you get someone that's not even used to a broken home, or I have a great father. It has nothing to do with them or the way I was raised. It could be anyone. It could be your sister. It could be your closest girlfriend. There's no way of knowing. No one knew that I wasn't happy. People knew that I was missing in action. And that can happen when you're also having an extreme amount of fun in your relationship too. But that got me into some depression, not being able to be authentic with my family and my father. And once I got real with what I've been doing, I realized how many of us girls are just really naturally attracted to healing. When I was staying in it, it was because I knew it wasn't personal, and I knew he was going through something, and I really wanted to be a stand for him. I really, really wanted to help his healing journey.
But at what point, let me just go in there, like, what point, as a man or female in a relationship, at what point does it actually become a hindrance to your own success? Because I've done that plenty of times with girls. Like, I've helped out a lot of women, and they weren't yet ready, or they didn't hit ground zero enough, and so my help got miscalculated. I wouldn't say as weakness, because it was never weakness, but I'd let people run with a rope for a while until they hang themselves, if that's what they do. So how does a person, in your opinion, figure out that fine line between being a placater, and placating a situation and letting a person run all over you, to that balance of you have your own self-respect, and you're saying, you know what, like, no, this is the level that I'm going to. I'm not going any lower. If you fuck that up, then you're on your own. I'm out of here. And the ability to stick with that.
That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. This needs to be talked about. This needs to be discussed. And who else but the people who are causing this? Right? No, I mean, no. Male and feminine energies, you know? You're fucking causing this, Eric. You know? No. But we're in charge of our lives, right? We say what is going on. So what the hell is going on? I don't know, but I do want to be vulnerable and expose this and completely invite people to learn with me, learn from me, and learn with me, because I myself am stumped. Though I am committed to peace, communication, and understanding.
Which is one of the things I was thinking about today, as far as we're talking about masculine and feminine. And I was thinking to myself, you know, the masculine by itself, like this is my own theory, okay? I believe this. You don't really see this written anywhere, but I believe that the more masculine, the more feminine energies you really need around you to balance you. Like the masculine is hard, it's forceful, it's fiery, it's direct. And I think about like all these guys, even some of these school shooters and these mass murderers and stuff like this, to a degree, is a lot of these men, okay, they don't have feminine in their lives on an intimate level. So a masculine that's by itself too much, or doesn't have that feminine qualities on a nurturing level to come in there, it's self-destructive, and it wants to destroy that around it. That's why one of the things with, like, you don't see it. You see that in the male masculine, but you don't see it so much in the feminine. So it's just something that I want to point out, because it was something I was thinking about today, is the usefulness of, like a female, she's going to need a little bit of masculine in her. I mean, it's the yin yang about the situation. Whereas the masculine needs a little feminine to balance it out. Without feminine in the world, like, this world would be a war zone. Okay, like it would just be just crazy. Okay, it'd be like Mad Max times 10. So the nice thing about that is, the feminine energy and the masculine energy is able to communicate, able to have conversations. Like I said, for her, it's going to be like, go to her station, the D video, the DTube video, the things that she does, and get in touch with her, ask her questions. She's opening herself up to this kind of discussion as far as this goes, and things like that. So
absolutely, yeah. It's very important to talk about what's going on with this anger, masculine, feminine situation, because you're completely right. Where's the lines? Where does it stop? Where does it become from verbal to physical? If we already had a grip on this, we wouldn't be seeing this news. We wouldn't be seeing so many people slapping up their girlfriends. And
well, what about let's say the whole feminine movement? All right. That, like the one thing I had an issue with during, I think it was like January when they did the Women's March, is, this level, like, they're repressed. I mean, in my opinion, in this society, women are not really repressed. There may be repressive issues and stuff like this, but, you take any other culture. I mean, if you go to YouTube and you look up my video that I did called Saving Face, about true repression on femininity, it's about women that get abused and, like, acid thrown in their face. Like, if you want to see that video and the song that I produced and the video that I did for that, watch it. It's fucking sad. Like, it got me crying, like tearing up when I was making that video, because it was so sad. But one of the things I want to do is, like, we are on this level. Like, when I'm getting together with Anabelle and we're discussing things, we're trying to we're trying to put up a flag saying, we're going to explore this together out here in a healthy way. Not because I'm a feminist and I hate you and fuck you and toxic masculinity, or, from the MGTOW guys that are misogynistic and pissed off. We're saying we're pretty healthy when it comes to this. So we're going to have this discussion, even though you're not going to see us in the colleges, things like this. But at least it's a healthy discussion saying, this is healthy. Like, what do you think is healthy in that feminist movement that's coming off with this anger that's coming off, not only from men, but women? You know what I'm talking about, right?
as long, what I find healthy is expression.
You're way prettier than I am. Get closer. They want to see you.
I find anything that is preventative healthy. I find anything that can prevent unnecessary stress to your body and mind. We all know fighting takes a lot more energy than getting along.
Oh, it's horrible.
So I've been there. I've been angry. I definitely don't have the perfect past. I did hypnotherapy in the Midwest, and my life changed. I entered the journey of healing myself, and not letting my partners have to suffer for my own stewage and issues. So for those who, who don't know about therapy and et cetera, there's still conversation. There's still all of us in this together. And when we come together like this, when you get with your guy friends, when you get with your girlfriends, and you make this a normal thing, make this a preventative thing. Talk about the things that annoy you about the other sex, and tell me what's annoying about chicks, so we can understand what is even happening in our heads while that's happening.
For the sleepover,
So there's a lot of shit to understand.
A lot of shit,
and that's fine. Bring it on, because there's so there's no such thing as like too much peace in this world. So.
It's called holding space. If you really want to know what it's called, like holding space, like I'm not going to mention her name, but she was over here the other day, and I don't do therapy work with my friends or family or things like this because I like to keep my personal and professional situation different. But I could tell that she needed some work, and she asked me for it, and I was like, I'm not really, I gave her some referrals, but I could tell she needed it. So, it's one of those things. But it's called holding space. When you hold the space for someone to explore themselves out, and it's one of these things like my house is a very, it's like a sanctuary. I mean, we can fucking party and get down and get ballsy and shit like this, but under experimental circumstances, people are safe. There's no fucking weird shit going on. No one trying to fucking get someone all fucked up so they can rape them or do stupid shit like this. I mean, it's a space where if a person's exploring that, it's opened up. That person can explore it safely. So it is one of those things to talk about. It's called holding space. And if a guy, like one of the most important things that a guy really needs to understand, if we're going into this deeper stuff, this is beyond the superficial, is being able to hold space for someone. Like one of the most important things that you can do, like guys always talk about, hey, you're going to you have sex with this girl, you're going to date this girl or whatever. But one of the most powerful things that you can do is not do that. Like guys they always ask me, well, what about the situation? I'm like, some of the healthiest humanitarian type of stuff that you can do is hold space for someone. If they're fucked up, if they're passed out, you put them in bed and you make sure that they're safe so that you can maybe give them healing, because maybe you're the only guy in their life that if they made themselves vulnerable in that situation and you didn't do anything, then you're giving that person that healthy outlook, like, the masculine is safe, compared to if she is passed out or she's going through shit and you're like, secretly just trying to rub on her tit or do whatever you're trying to do because you're being uncool, you're being creepy, you're being perverted. It's something that's important. So always remember there's power in that. There's power in that. Like I said, it's not all about getting laid. It's not all about any of this stuff. It's about being human and giving your brother, your sister, feminine, female, masculine, a safe spot to be themselves without having to push on it hard, without having to take. And I think that's a really useful thing to do, especially in the situation, and it helps you as men. Like it helps you. Like there's a reason why, and it's weird because but my reputation, let's just kind of like talk about reputation. Is a lot of people are like, he's a sick fucking pig. He's like sleeps with everyone. But on the other side, the women that are actually intimate in my life that know me that like I don't fuck around when it comes to shit. Like I'll handle business and I give people a safe spot. Am I intimate with a lot of people? Yeah, but it's not because I'm out there being the dirty dog. Although I can be, but
Everyone can be.
Yeah.
It's choices and decisions, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, the useful side of that is just, be able to hold space for someone and be cool about it and not, stop looking at it as the short-term, superficial, surface level stuff.
Instant, yeah.
Because you'll get a lot more out of it, and I'm not saying this is manipulation, but you will get a lot more out of it if you're intimate and you hold space with someone and they feel safe and they'll come back. Like, I can be intimate with her, like years ago, but because I hold space and we got arguments and stuff like this, and I was like, oh, fuck you, bitch, don't ever come back. That time comes around.
No, that's not. No,
I never said that.
Exactly. Someone like him, okay, I'm coming to him. I'm wanting to keep our relationship alive for a reason, and that's because complete gentleman, complete. So thank you, and thank you for mentioning the holding space. That's exactly. Those are the type of things that I would love to keep exploring with you, is how we distinguish these things, how we distinguish holding a space for someone, and the healthy lines, I guess, to work with, what's workable. And I get that it's different for everyone, but it's a great discussion to have.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll start throwing some female seminars, because it is cool. It is cool to know this. Like, it's very cool.
Well, and excuse me, you guys, for jumping around a bit, but going back to the feminist movement, if women were doing if women were doing to men what men have been doing to women, if roles were reversed, stuff would have been handled a long time ago. Okay, you guys wouldn't let us get away with stuff. There would be, if we were your size, everything got flipped, and we were women handling you, beating you or anything. I mean, there just wouldn't be a pass. And now, there's this whole, it's expected of men, and there's a natural aggression of men. So when a chick explodes, she's a bitch, get rid of her, or whatever. But a guy, let's understand and let's see. I'm not wronging that. I'm just saying that there's room for transition. There's room to transform these things. We have so many tools now.
We're in a really powerful place.
We're in a very powerful place.
Guys, your part's coming up, okay? Because guys, notoriously, you've been fucked in court. like seriously. You fucked in court and fucked on getting half of your shit taken away. And these are some of the men issues that are going out. I mean, you guys, when you go out and work, like 93% of you, or there's a 93% increase in men that die at work than over other things. So there's a lot of issues. And I think, I really believe that, with all this crazy shit going on in the world, everyone's getting smarter, and we're learning that this is too far for a universality of this is healthy, masculine. Okay, what's good for the goose, good for the gander. Okay, it needs to be a little fair when it's coming to men, female relationships, child custody. There's a lot of interesting things that are coming to the point. So I think it's going to be really cool that we're all dealing with this. And like I said, I wanted to give you, this venue to introduce you to a friend of mine who wants to explore this with people, and that's why we're on here doing what we're doing. I mean, is there anything else that you want to talk about as far as bringing stuff up?
Well, to close that up with what's going on, just to close up with what's going on, guys, don't get intimidated, or join in on what chicks are trying to do. They're not trying to harm you with their expressions. I don't think, women power has nothing to do with wanting to overpower. It's just equality. So that's where a lot of things get kind of funky when we're making fun of each other with this thing. We can make fun of each other all day long. At the end of the night, everyone wants to sleep with each other. So let's just get over it.
Anyone want to sleep with her?
Please. Okay. So where and why? So that's look, you guys, what I went through was so minor compared to what's going on out there. And I get that. I really got it. I really wish for this to be prevented. So I'm willing to take any embarrassing questions for the greater good of masculine and feminine energy understanding. I get that all this stuff is just behavioral and just patterns. They're just habits, you know. I get that when someone has an addiction or an anger issue, it's not them per se. And that's my point, is that I really want to cultivate teamwork to break these nasty habits and not break hearts.
All right, so let's get actually into some of these questions.
Ooh.
So Ray, Ray, I'm trying to understand. I'm not exactly sure what you're saying, but you're saying. So, are you saying that you want to be a part of healing when it's damaging to you? Like, I don't understand that. So, if you want to,
I think I do. I think it was back when what Eric was asking me, like what my boundaries are. Correct. That's something that I really want to discover. That's something that's part of my vulnerability, is admitting to you guys that really threw me off. That I'm a big fan of the healing arts, and I do understand that one can only love others as much as themselves. So I want to figure that out. Because I was damaging myself and then not really available.
So those are some of the things that she's going to be exploring on her Naughty with a Cause and your
what's healing and what's too much and what's damaging. I thank you, Ray. That's exactly what I'm exploring.
It's like a scab, all right? You cut yourself. Okay, there comes a point where if you keep on digging at it, like this is one of the issues I have with the healing community. Like I've been through it. I went through my hippie phase, and now that's why I'm just kind of raw, because I'm like, everything that I went through to a degree had a source of fakeness in it. I mean, even the hippies and even the gurus and all the yoga people that were all life, but they all kept on going for detox all the time. And there comes a point where you hit this like homeostasis, like neutral, you get it. And that's really the most powerful place, because if you're like healthy, but you keep on picking your scab, like a lot of these people, I got to detox, you're just going to keep picking your scab. You're not going to give it a chance to heal. So in order to like let it do its thing, because the human body is meant to heal emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, all these things, you gotta put the time in, you gotta give it the right conditions, and you gotta let it do its thing. Sometimes you have to assist, like sometimes you have to peel the scab blade. Not all the time, you know, but it's one of these things to understand this and to give, like I said, you know, your venue where you can go over there, explore these things. You may trigger her, you may piss her off, you may say something that she can discuss, you know, or she may just cut you off and block you. Who knows?
But either way, it's all part of communication.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna appreciate it.
So let's just see. Okay. Ray, don't be surprised, man. It's not imagine of her being attractive that it can't imagine a person laying hands on her. It's the unattractiveness within men.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know that's scary.
On her, did you?
No, oh gosh.
Great, now I'm gonna start crying and shit on me.
I'm gonna fucking cry. No, you guys. That's what's crazy. What the F? We're hurting the people that we love the most. Not all of you, of course. It's just a very awakening thing this is my first time, and how many times has this happened where it's supposed to be your personal partner in crime, your personal partner, that's the same person that's supposed to be team working with you, putting you down. Oh, gosh, you guys. Anyway, I was getting signs of how...
Man, I didn't bring Kleenex. You guys are putting me on the spot here. You're going to get all fucking sappy and shit.
But this freaking happens. And, it has something to... Looks, no looks, you know. I really appreciate it, but looks, no looks.
Running away from
how many times does this happen? And what's funny is that... So I've been, you know... I've dabbled in different types of entertainment, and what's hilarious is I've noticed... these types of guys be superly attracted to girls in these industries, you know, like modeling and such. And it's interesting because they
modeling,
they love what
actressing.
they're doing, yeah. And then
It's the whole white. What's his name? Weinberg. What's his name? The dude that's having all the issues up in.
Yeah, me too, man. And I really fucking loved it. Sorry, not fucking. I really am enjoying this powerful time right now because there's a lot of Me Too action going on, even if it's not full on physical rape. There's just Me Too, you guys. Me Too.
Are you gonna cry? It's okay. Got it pretty hard when you do that. All right.
No, well, I'm gonna cry if this continues.
Well, should we go?
So let's prevent this.
I can help. I can assist that situation. If we want to get really emotional, then I can go get a T-shirt and say, "Don't like drip all over yourself."
Okay.
No, I don't want to do that. Okay.
Well, can we get Me Too T-shirts?
You want a Me Too T-shirt?
That's a powerful movement. Thank you, Rose.
Anyways, listen. A lot of times, like I talk to women like on that level. Like I won't. Let's just say I'm not the touchy-feely guy, but I'll let them discuss it and hold space and try to, one of the things that people don't understand is I may try to make light of a situation to get a person to smile about a situation because when I'm doing like self-work with people, one of the most powerful things that you can do is to get them to laugh about something that was traumatic to them. Because the moment they start laughing, you have these two neural synapses being fired off at the same time. And if you can keep up with the laughter, then the laughter begins to override the other one compared to if it's like you're locking it in, you're anchoring. That's why you won't see me like all huggy on people because I don't want to anchor in that emotion. I want to challenge it right away. So on one level, I may come across as crass or, oh, he's not being sensitive. But on another level, it's like I'm going to offer them something that I can help them reach into the quicksand and help pull them out without being all touchy.
I got that, actually. I really got that he holds a space for what you're going through. I realize you do hold space for whatever limited belief was going on.
Yeah,
You're really holding space for that transformation.
And if it wasn't for you guys out there, I'd handle the situation, get her laughing, and then move on from it. Like, with guys, here's another thing that I will not put myself in a situation of is men. What you guys a lot of times do is you guys put yourself and you start associating with being the therapist. Okay, with a situation like if you're in a relationship with someone, you're having fun with them. You don't want to be the guy who's going to be there and listening to all the time to shit. Like I have a quota. Sargent's like bitching, so I go, look, man, your fucking complaining quota's up. Done. Don't want to hear it anymore. From this moment on, if you have any more shit to talk about, you need to go see a therapist or you need to go see another friend because I don't want to hear it anymore. And the biggest problem with guys is they get to the situation where they're trying to help. They're trying to be the white knight. And all of a sudden, all that association gets anchored to you. So when she's thinking about being with you, she's bringing up all this bullshit that she's had in her past compared to like, hey, you know what? When I hang out with Eric, I'm having a good time. You don't want to be in that situation. It's not healthy for you because she's thinking, well, the last person, when she heals, the last person I felt shitty with about that situation was him. I'm probably not going to want to go see him. I'm going to go hang out with my friends and have a good time. That shit's in the past. Like, thanks, Eric, for being there. It's useful, but do not get in the point. I give about 30%. I'll give about 30% time to something like that, and I'll handle it the fast I can. But if they're dripping on it and they're hanging on it, I'll hold space, maybe send them on their way. But I'm not going to sit there over and over and over and deal with the situation. So
that could be one of the topics, Eric.
What?
How to, because it's guy, girl, guy, girl. It doesn't matter. In all conversations, when you hear so much of the past, you realize that your buddy's holding on to the past, and that really kills the now.
Okay, so let's talk about it. Since we're talking about men and female, is okay when you deal with a guy who's like, because there's a lot of you fucking nice guys out there that
I love you, nice guys.
No.
Hey, come on, agree to disagree. This is real talk.
I don't fucking like nice guys.
I do.
I like good guys. I like real guys. I like true guys. Nice guys are usually nice because they're trying to get something in return. Okay, and nice guys, you guys are notoriously the ones that always fucking put me down. Plenty of times. He's the nice guy. Oh, don't hang out with him.
Well, that's a fake nice guy.
It's a fake nice. There's lots of fake nice. The good guy.
Okay.
I just say the good guy.
He doesn't like fake nice.
No, I don't like fake nice at all. But think about this. You've dealt with a lot of these guys. Guys that are nice to you, and they're like, oh, let me buy you anything. And so they're trying to buy your affection. They're trying to buy their own validation with who they are. And so they think that being nice and giving you stuff is a form of bribery to a degree, or an exchange or a barter, but it's not. So Like, how do you, let's just talk about that for some of the guys. How do you distinguish, like, how quick can you tell when a guy's being manipulative and trying to buy your affection or buy things that are useful to him, at least from your point of view?
I first off,
because it's not like she ever gets hit on at all.
No. Come on, give me some
joking.
slack, dude.
I'm joking, trust me.
Once a year. Personally, I am going through my own journey of learning how to accept gifts and accept things more. Though, in transition, like while I am accepting things, basically, I never keep my eye on the prize of the way I'm being treated. And that's how I can distinguish. I basically eliminate anything that's been given to me. It doesn't count. You know, I mean, I give it credit, of course. I'm effing grateful. It's just, it doesn't hold any space. The moment that, I mean, that's why I was trying, let me get out of my personal situation. Yeah, I just basically think that, you know, you're not going to take anything to your grave. So this is what we have now. And if at the moment this person is robbing my time and robbing my life of my happiness, then you can pretty much ignore. It's helpful, whatever that freaking purse you got or whatever freaking gas money, wherever the hell. That's great and that's helpful, but it's not. You can basically kind of void that out and just go off of how you're being treated, because the material is gonna change.
But and there's also different women. We're talking about, like, there's some women that'll just take your shit. They'll just keep taking. And there's some women that'll appreciate it, but they're not tying into, like, you need to give me more. I mean, that's kind of like the fine line of, you know, different levels.
Yeah. You know, let me interject right there. Yeah, there's plenty of chicks. You know, I had the same dude who's like, oh, you know, get with the program. There's chicks out there who are only in for it for what they can get. I get that, but you know what? Where's that coming from? Do you really think they love and respect men? You think...
No, it's sad.
No, there's some hurt. There's back and forth hurt. There's, I hurt you, you hurt me, I'm hurt. I have this anger from men. I have this anger from chicks. It's a back and forth game that I'm not gonna play anymore. I'm here to...
But one of the things that's really interesting, like, you know, like I said, I run a strip club for 25 years. I've seen, I don't know, almost 2 or 3 or 4 generations of women come through. And this fucking generation that's coming up, like the 18-year-old girls that are coming up that are there, man, they're fucked. I mean, they're really truly fucked in their head as far as what they think. No, really, they are. They're fucked. You know,
can we create a chance for them? Jesus.
No. I mean, I'm going to explain this out.
Okay.
They're going to have to do a lot of deep work when it comes back to the future, because of the fact that a lot of these women they've been so manipulated to believe that it's all about sex and it's all about materialism. Like, this has been the hardest generation for me to ever work in a strip club, because to me it's almost, I know I'm broad stroking this, okay, and I'm very in an industry that's, you know, sees a certain, you know, spectrum, but a lot of these girls coming up, they're so into the materialistic stuff. Like, I can't, like, it's hard for me to work sometimes. Whereas the girls of a few generations ago, like I loved the early 90s, the 80s, and the early 90s. Fuck, I love the girls that were dancing stuff. These girls these days, like, they were, back in the day, they were useful, they were funny, they were talented, they put effort into it. A lot of these girls these days are just like, what can I get out of this? What can I get out of that? And that's a form that's going to come back and bite them in the ass, because eventually they're going to get to the point where perhaps their looks aren't doing it for them, and they're so conditioned to being negative, and they're so conditioned to being money hungry, that when their looks do go, they're not going to have shit to fall back on. Okay, they're going to be ugly in, and they're going to be ugly out. And so I'm watching a lot of these young girls. I'm just like, man, you know, and I don't say shit. I just kind of go, interesting. Like, you're going to have a lot of self-work if you're going to get back and tap back into the healthy masculine, because right now you're all about that feminine, but the greedy feminine. And so it's going to be it's going to be very interesting. Like I said, man, like, it's rough. Sometimes, I mean, I'm almost ready to retire, because I'm like, I can't even, these new girls are just ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous, you know, how different they are from the earlier girls. But I mean, that's a form of what we're going through as well. So
yeah, no, for sure. I'm not gonna say never, but rarely growing up, did I look at another girlfriend and judge her from outside and, you know, any type of disgust or like she needs to change this, she needs to change that. Every time I judged, especially a fellow sister's beauty, it was always kind of from the inside, like same way, like how I get treated, what's going on inside. And the only times I ever felt like a chick was where I was a bit put off by chicks is it's always been something in the inside that it seeps through. It ends up shows through from their looks. And something that I discovered is how harsh I was being on myself. I was stressed and I lost some weight with this recent breakup, and my old pattern was to be shy and embarrassed and kind of just embarrassed. That's all I could really think about is embarrassment. And I realized how much I must have not... I realized if I'm not loving myself through these changes, and I'm not loving myself through the up and down body changes, how well am I loving everyone else through their changes?
Yeah.
You know,
and you take care of, I mean, you got a fucking crazy ass body.
I'm done. I'm going to accept myself, you guys. I'm effing skinny. I've always been.
No, like, put that, put that down so they can judge it themselves, or they can see. Because you're not skinny, you're healthy. I mean, a little lighter
but you know,
a little lighter than I'm used to, but.
Thick is in.
All right, turn around. Check it out.
All right. Oops, this kind of fell.
Can you do like a G-string shot to see like the full body, or is that too much?
No.
Is that being too much? Sorry, guys.
AnabelleGrey.com.
Anyways.
Okay. No, really, this is important though, you guys, because it's a body image thing. Like, when the hell did I get obsessed? Like, I every age that I was in, I was completely accepting of myself, and I hit this wall, and it was just... I'm glad I caught that. I'm really glad I caught that, because there's in two ways I really wanted myself to just be consistent body-wise and emotionally. I really felt like if I'm not happy, no one wants my company. I'm only useful if I'm completely happy. But there's times like this where I have things to share. I have these experiences that they're not maybe the jolliest, but they're important, and they can really prevent a lot of misunderstandings. So
and here's something else. We're going to drop some seeds here about guys what to be aware of, like in this movement of this toxic masculinity. Okay, like I want you to be aware of, like, my favorite people that I like to hang out with are lesbians. Okay, because I get a real true understanding of what is toxic masculinity and what's normal. Okay, so when these people on the far left are going crazy about you can't say this and that, man, you go to a lesbian bar, you're going to hear what is actually cool. So when I hear, like what she said earlier, made me write this, is she was talking about when I have my friends that are chicks. When she said that, just take a moment here to appreciate the situation. Here's a moment for you to... There.
Sorry. I'll listen then.
Don't be sorry.
I'm telling you.
These guys didn't want to hear me during that time. But the bottom line is this.
When you have chick friends, what?
Yeah, when she said it, chick friends. Now imagine this, okay, because I want you to find that fine balance. If a guy was like, well, these chicks do this, a lot of feminists would be like, that's toxic masculinity, the way you talk about chicks. But chicks talk about chicks like that, okay? Lesbians, okay, they talk about dick, okay? They talk about vagina, they talk about pussy, they talk about all this kind of things.
Piracy.
Yeah, all this shit. So when you're there, like I said, do yourself a favor, go hang out with some lesbians. If you really want to get an idea of what's okay to say, because if they can say it, okay, then it's normal. It's healthy. You know, like I know girls are like, I got to get some dick, okay, but I don't say, oh, that's fucking feministic toxicity. But if I say, hey, I want to go get some vagina or pussy or whatever, all of a sudden, oh, that's toxic. No, don't believe the bullshit, okay?
But not every girl thinks that's toxic.
No, I don't think it's toxic at all. I mean,
and I'm having some lesbians next week, by the way.
Like personally or on the show.
On the show.
Right, you never know.
You never know.
Gotta test.
So you might want to join in. Okay, you know what? Let's just.
It happens.
Before. All right.
It happens.
So. Thank you, Brother Eric, for being a space for all of us and being a fucking gentleman and being part of this movement that's real and raw. Thank you to Hypnotica. Thank you to everything that you've been creating.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. All right.
You gotta think.
We're having a moment right now.
Well, because we're wrapping up, right?
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's cool.
Okay.
I'm not going to get all emotionally invested in all these fucking guys watching me right now.
Oh shit!
I'm not that vulnerable. I'm vulnerable in my own space.
You're not too cool for school, but you're too cool for emotions.
No, those are very. I don't know who's out there watching it. So to you, I know it's the masculine thing. Sorry, it's the way it goes. Okay, let's just do a couple more questions here. Shit like that. God damn, loneliness hurts. You're lucky. Loneliness sucks. Don't be afraid. If you're lonely and shit like that, there's plenty of lonely people out there that are lonely.
F loneliness. That's why we're cultivating this conversation.
That's one of the things. Let me give you another idea about why I kind of like live the lifestyle. And a lot of people don't get it. Okay, they're like, oh, you've got this fucked up weird, thing going on with multiple people and situations like this.
Judgy.
But in my belief system, like a tribe is very healthy. Like in Western society, we've been bred and kind of conditioned to move away from the tribe and be put into these little fucking catacomb little houses. And it's like man, husband, wife, kid, separate. And then, the man's got shit to do or the female's got shit to do. And so one person's sitting around waiting. And I think it's really useful. Like, you've seen my, people come over. If I'm busy and I'm doing a project, okay, I'm out of commission. Like, I'm just going to be there. Mm-hmm. So if a person is in my life or whatever, how cool is it that there's other people around that still can appreciate the space, still can love the person, still can be supportive. So if I'm doing something and you're just sitting there lonely, at least you have another person to communicate with. And so I think it's healthier. I just think that what we have in this society is don't buy into that paradigm. That's why I said a lot of people, oh, he's got some cult thing. No, it's fucking real simple.
It's not a cult, and I'll tell you why.
It's not even.
I don't
even want to use that.
I'll tell you. Well, it's nothing crazy. I'll tell you why. Because we are able to agree to disagree. I mean, I'm not even part of that. And I'm actually a hopeful romantic in monogamy. So I'm here and we learn from each other and we have these open discussions because I'm not going to learn from something I already know. Anyway. So we're in different worlds. And he never, there's no pressure. There's no anything. There's nothing sketchy. It's so open and honest. It's just the more open and honest and nothing to hide, the more workability. So it's been very workable because there's no drama.
Well, sometimes there's.
Oh God! Okay,
drama basically has to do with other people.
But there's drama everywhere.
Other people's insecurity.
It's not like.
And I'm going to tell this is my theory on things, and I've told a lot of guys this shit. Okay, love is not subtractive. Love is an additive. All right. So, and I'm going to point this out. So, if you have love and you think, oh, I only have a certain limited supply of love, and I have love and I'm giving it to you, all right, and all of a sudden you get a dog. Now, I'm not going to say, well, fuck, man, sorry, I got to take 20% of the love to give to this dog now because I got to love this. So I got to, I can't give all my love away because I only have a limited amount. Okay. Love that's subtractive. Love is additive. You give, now I'm going to give a little bit more, and this dog's going to come back and give to you sometime when I'm not around. Like, love is additive. Gotcha. Love increases. Okay. It's destructive when it becomes like, I'm not enough. They're not enough. Or they need to love me, or you can't love anyone else, or you can't do this. This is my perspective. So I'm not saying it's the truth. It's my truth. Mm-hmm. So it's just one of those things to be aware of that people get caught into that, and there is no paradigm that encompasses all of it. There's religions that try to say one thing, but you know, there's lots of tribes that have done it very successfully in the past as well.
Absolutely. And nothing is set on stone. Things are going to be constantly changing. People are going to have different stages in their lives. I'm not going to know what I am and not into next year. I don't know how I'm going to expand and grow, right? So it's dumb to really limit yourself. I'm going to keep talking to different people in different experiences, in different paradigms, and get to know what I want to know. I don't know how many girlfriends he has, but I know I get along with a couple, and they're freaking awesome. And there's just more to teamwork than just sex. So
yeah. So with that, we're gonna answer. We're gonna one question at the very end. I just went to the very end.
Got it.
Are those what on your arms? What is on your arm? You got a bat?
Oh yes. Well,
you got the coolest. I love it. Turn around. This is the coolest one I like. Turn around. Show them like the bat one. Like,
Chris. What's his name? Chris. Anyway,
that's Russ Deacon.
I'll remember.
No, that's Lopez Christopher. But she's got the coolest bat.
This is my first bat.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
That was my first bat, you guys.
That's my favorite
and then
one.
I became that person that I wanted a second one. So when I worked at a tattoo shop, I was the piercist, and the owner really helped me get my idea for my second one.
Yeah.
Or helped me get it down. So,
all right.
Thanks for that easy question.
We're going to wrap this up, guys. Like I said, we're going to be doing a lot of cool shit like this.
Thanks for joining us.
So, do you want to, anything else to finish? I just got to say bye.
You can empower me with a compliment.
Oh, they will.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to I don't want to give you too much free shit out there, guys. Fuck, I got at least something to myself.
All right.
Stingy.
I thought love wasn't.
It's not, but on some things you also got to learn. You can't just be an open book. Like there's a certain philosophy too. Like
open the book. Open the book. Let it open.
You want to hear a compliment?
So many damn assumptions.
You want to hear a compliment?
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. You are fucking hot. You're hot. You're such a hot chick. Like I don't know what to say. So, with that, gentlemen, ladies, I hope you appreciate it, or you
till next time on Real Talk That Talk.
Until next time, we'll talk soon, or bye.